Now, it is certainly not the kind of record you want to be famous for. Russian oligarch Dmitry Rybolovlev is ordered by Swiss courts to pay his wife roughly $4.5 billion in what's being billed as the world's most expensive divorce settlement, and there certainly have been others. The couple's marriage lasted 23 years. They have a 13-year-old daughter together. What is the precedent for this kind of high net worth settlement, and how does someone prepare for a multi-billion-dollar divorce? We're joined now by Eleanor Blayney, the Certified Financial Planner Board's consumer advocate. Eleanor, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
First off, we want to point out there will be an appeal, so nothing is set in stone yet. But does this case have many high net individuals suddenly postponing their weddings?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. This is out in the stratosphere as far as divorce settlements go. But certainly it does have a warning for them that knowing what you're bringing into the marriage and what you have as your marital estate makes a lot of sense.
Now, obviously, court proceedings are expensive, and when this much money is involved, can the parties find common ground without lawyers?
I think in a divorce of this magnitude, the lawyers are, they're needed, as well as financial advisors. I mean, what we have here is, this is not just simple stocks and bonds and readily valued assets. Undoubtedly, at this level, we're talking about assets that can be extremely hard to value and even harder to split. I think, in fact, there's a $100 million island in the estate there somewhere. So as you can imagine, you need a lot of experts both on the legal and financial side.
And what other considerations are involved with divorces like this over $1 billion? I mean, obviously there's a child involved in this case. How does that make it different?
Well, I think certainly having a child involved, and it really doesn't matter how many commas you have in the divorce settlement, having a child makes the divorce much sadder and much more emotionally entangled. You can split assets, but you can't split a child. And so it's going to invoke all these other issues in terms of custody and support, visitation, tax deductions and exemptions, and splitting education payments. So a whole nother level of negotiation is needed. But I think in this case, with a divorce of this size, not only are you talking about hard to value assets, I think there's also the problem of hidden assets. When we're talking about closely held businesses and trusts and partnerships, and you can be certain there is a fair sprinkling of these more legally complicated entities involved in a divorce like that. As you can imagine, it's easy to hide certain things. You think of, for example, the Enron org chart and how impossible it was to trace money flows and so forth. So I think hidden assets becomes a big issue.
And very quickly, because
to be aware of.
We don't have a lot of time, Eleanor, but was there a prenuptial agreement in this marriage, and is that the way to go these days when so much money is at stake?
I don't know whether there was or wasn't, but there absolutely should have been. I think it is the way to go. Many people say that prenups put money ahead of love, but as far as I'm concerned, they take money out of the equation and allow for love to blossom.
Absolutely.
So I think they're very important.
All right, Eleanor Blayney, thank you so much for all that.